Hi, my name is Desiree from Witch Energy. Today we're going to talk about the Ampuku winti, which is a Suriname type of ghost. Suriname that lies in South America, next to Brazil. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you about this winti which exists, this ghost which exists, and how you can recognize him, how you can put him to ease. Not that, but make him feel better, make yourself feel better, because whenever there's ghosts, there could be complications, or there are complications. So let's start at the beginning, the Ampuku winti. Winti is a name for wind, and therefore also means ghost, because you can't see wind and you can't see ghosts. Most of us cannot. And the Ampuku winti, they started to get known or to make themselves present in the times when slaves existed, for example in Suriname. And what they did was help the slaves, which is pretty cool, really cool actually. And they are powerful, and their ability, their specialty and their strength laid in protecting the slave women, namely, and protecting them from their sex masters, or their masters who wanted to have sex with them also occasionally or repeatedly, and they wanted to help them, and the women were glad to accept the help. So what happened is the Ampuku was helping, and they wanted to help the woman. So they started to interfere with the thoughts of the men. They started to give them nightmares, or make them feel like the women are not interesting anymore, or they don't want to have sex with them anymore, or maybe they don't feel like being intimate at all anymore. And they do that in dreams, or in their thoughts, or in their feelings. And the women again were happy with that. But as you know, and luckily, the slaves, the time where there were slaves ended and people were free. However, the Ampuku, which came to the slaves to help them, and they were thanked, maybe occasionally as a ghost had sex with the women, but the women were fine with that because it kept the masters away. They were like left alone, the Ampukus. The Ampukus, they were not happy about that at all. But what happened also is that the Ampuku ghosts could multiply, so they could be with you as the sex slave, or the slave with your partner, maybe the partner you did choose or didn't choose, then the kid you had. So the Ampuku family could multiply just as your family. That's why in a family those days were multiple Ampukus. Sometimes the Ampuku did not go with a certain child, and not because they didn't like them, but just because they're like, nah, I'm occupied, I have my own human which I can use or be with. Yeah. So maybe you're thinking, so we're talking about a ghost that was there in the time of the slaves, so why is it here now? Is it here now? Yes, because as I said, it is multiplying. So down the generation, and the kids, they were everywhere in the family. If one family member had it, well, again, it started to multiply. And so to this day, even without roots in Suriname, you can have an Ampuku. Why also without roots in Suriname? Because they are everywhere where slaves were, or So Ampuku multiplies and then sort of wants to be with the woman, but it gives a lot of benefits. For example, keep bad men away, but also they have something called white feet, which means they come to you very, very fast, and you hear them like tick, 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 and they're going to tell you gossip, often about relationships, because that's their thing. Don't know why. Yeah. But also, if you want to know something about life or another person, the Ampuku will tell you, if you are dealing with your Ampuku correctly. But no one ever does that, except for some people who really know of Ampuku, because Ampuku feels lonely now that it's not needed anymore. People want to be with another human being, another man, because they usually side with women, the Ampukus, want to have a relationship with women. But the woman wants to have a relationship with a actually human flesh man. So the Ampuku feels left out. He's not being thanked anymore. It's just they're not welcome. And then the woman and their partner get mad that they have disturbing dreams. Kind of feels unfair to him, which is, I guess, understandable. So I said dreams. If you have an Ampuku with you which is not satisfied and happy, that means that you occasionally get dreams in which you have sex or relationships or cuddling with another man. Sometimes in the form of your partner, sometimes a strange man, and you sort of consent to it. But sometimes also you have dreams and you say, no, I have a relationship, go away. And then he listens. So he asks, in contrary of some other winties who don't ask, but just go for it in your dream. Alright. But the Ampuku, as he is a master of imitations, because because of the misleading the masters and shit, they can take a form of everything and anything. So they just take the form of your partner, and then you in your dream you want to have sex with them. And there are also female Ampukus, I think, because some men also complain of I have sex dreams about my wife. I mean, cool, but yeah, then you have an Ampuku as well, an Ampuku family. If you have both dreams, the man and the woman, and then the child. Yeah. So also a good thing about Ampukus is fertility. They like to give children, also because they want to multiply and have a family. So that was I was forgetting that to say that earlier. Yeah, but then you have these dreams and you don't like them. And they don't like it that you don't give them attention, and then there's that. You can do something about that with a wasi. I don't give them. I treat an Ampuku a different way, send them away a different way, or make them feel at ease. So long as your complaints in your life, will rest, And you can read about that more in the link below. So there's that. But some also do a wasi, which is more work, but alright. And with a wasi, you have to cover yourself up, even if you're a man, because that's polite. And then you wear a sort of clothing, and it looks like this. And some people are really into which clothing is suited to which winti, because otherwise a wasi will fail. So people are really into these kind of things. Also, maybe carry a little piece with them, or walk around in this cloth as a skirt or something, or make something with this just to honor their Ampuku out of respect, but also so that he doesn't harass you anymore. Yeah. And then other ways to make winties feel more welcome and at ease is to eat the things they like. Most winti like, for example, booze, cigars, certain kind of meat. Some winti like fish, some hate them. And the Ampuku hates beef, cow, and milk. And he hates it because some say they ride a cow, I think. And then if you eat beef and drink milk regularly and you have the Ampuku, and it is a type of Ampuku that really hates that, because not every Ampuku hates it, then you get like eczema, weird complaints, stomach problems, everything with your body. That's not good. And you can stop eating those things or just do the treatment I have for the Ampuku. Yeah. So that is it for the Ampuku. And other things they're good at, again, is imitating. Because they imitate like they're someone else. They're like your partner, or to the slave owners, they pretended to be whatever. So that the owner was occupied. Maybe even had sex with the owner in their dreams, so that the heat doesn't harass the slaves anymore. Imitation is like an awesome trademark of the Ampuku. But also, if you're like, well, I want to know more about the winti, you can, by the way, in the links below. And I want to make mine feel at ease, etc. Then you might somehow not see the Ampuku because it's imitating as someone else, some other winti, or some other problem. because it doesn't want to go away. So it's also master of that trickery. Yeah, so that was it for the Ampuku. I'm wondering if you ever heard of that and what your opinions are, of course. Some extra information. Also, yeah, very cool. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, I'd say, and until next time.